Hey everybody, Multiclassic Gamer here, welcoming you back to more Metroid Prime Trilogy. In the last episode, we were here at the Chozo Ice Temple on our way to the Chapel of the Elders for our next objective. And we got another baby Sheegoth here. I wonder if that has any significance going forward. Just like usual, these guys are pretty easy. Okay, so we gotta actually climb our way to the top of this room in order to progress forward. Well, not like that. What the hell, dude? Alright. So, this is the first episode I'm recording, since making my self-discovery of sorts. And, hopefully, by the time I post this episode, I will have had my coming out story posted. So, yeah, I don't have to be, like, all quiet about stuff. Anyways, oh, I didn't even bother to look up these enemies much. Well, these guys we already know about. I just hit them with a missile and they're gone. That's simple. Love these ice walls here. So cool. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you'll run into that a lot. Like, when you're walking on skinny platforms, you have enemies walking all around them. So you gotta watch out for that. Come on. Thank you. It took longer than expected to go around the other side. Okay, there we go. Well, dang, I didn't get a chance to... Well, actually, I did get a chance, but I flubbed it up. Oh, okay, well, I got another one here. Alright, what do you got? Ice parasites. Okay, so yeah, just ice versions of the... You see that a lot in, like, these Nintendo games. Like, you see ice versions of regular enemies and fire versions, so it's just, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, pretty much just simple enemies in that regard. Alright, so next up we have a bunch of Chozo, well, not artifacts, but like, yeah, just a bunch of Chozo stuff around here, and statues. Yeah, statues and busts and whatnot. But this one in particular is kind of interesting. It's a statue depicting the bust of a Chozo shaman. Several stress fractures can be seen running along the brimstone. Okay, so in here, brimstone, that means you can destroy it with a missile. Alright. Not that I really have any reason to address the stuff that I talked about in the coming out story, but, and plus, by the time you see this, it'll likely have been at least a month or two after I posted that video. Okay, so, let's make our way through here real quick. Now, you can't really, obviously you don't get a chance to scan anything, but basically you're supposed to destroy these, you gotta slowly make your way through this room by clearing pathways. And that means destroying parts of these, like, totem-like structures, essentially. Come on. Sometimes the warp ball can be a little fidgety, so I think it's kind of annoying at times, but I'm telling you, the hyper ball just makes things like 10 times more easy. Okay, what we got here? What's this? This is the wave beam. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Nothing gonna stop us from getting. Ah, they pulled an Indiana Jones on us, I guess. More baby Sheegoths. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh. I was getting kind of ahead of myself there. I tried to do something that not gonna be able to do for probably a couple more episodes. Alright. Hope that my card's right, that is. And you'll notice something different about this door right here. It's purple. It's got purple hue on it, so that's kind of interesting. What that means. Okay, so I guess I should talk more about the whole new play control line of games, because this game is part of that, and I did start to go into it at the very beginning of the Let's Play, but I didn't go any further than just mentioning that this game is part of it, so I'll go more in detail about that in this episode as we take on the next sort of boss of sorts. It kind of is, but it's no more a boss than the Plate of Beetle was, because this will become a regular enemy. This is an adult Sheegoth, yeah. So it does mean something that we were encountering baby Sheegoths a lot up to this point, but let's take a look at it. As you probably saw, it sucked in one of the beams that I fired next to it. Sheegoth, Supreme Predator of the Phendrana drifts. Sheegoths are invulnerable to most beam weapons. Crystals on their back absorb energy, which they can fire back at prey. Sheegoths have poor stamina. They hyperventilate after using their breath attack, making their mouth area vulnerable. The soft underbelly of a Sheegoth is susceptible to concussive blasts. In battle, they expel blasts of frigid gas to ensnare their targets. They are also fond of ramming and trampling their hopeless prey. So this is one of my least favorite bosses in the entire game because it seems to take forever. Like, all you do is you just wait for it to do its breath attack, and then you spam missiles at it, and then Well, I guess you could do this. Like, you do the missile spam trick where you tap A and down on the control pad at the same time. This will actually save you a lot of time in this battle. But normally, this battle takes forever because you can only fire like 2 missiles at a time or so. And I think this thing takes like 20 or 30 missiles or so to kill. But there we go. It goes down that fast if you try that missile spam technique. I never tried that until now. I don't know why I never did. But yeah, I made quick work of that boss. There we go. Now this is pretty exciting right here. This is our first new beam. There it is. Wave beam acquired. Alright. Do some nice damage with this. Okay, so with this, it introduces an alternate beam weapon. Oh, doesn't really tell you much about the wave beam, but we'll get into that in a second. But basically, you hold a plus, and now you can select different beams. Similarly with the minus button, we can select our visors. Well, if I haven't explained that yet. So the wave beam is electrical based, essentially, and it's actually gonna be very handy against enemies that are non-organic in particular, but it's also useful against organic enemies as well, so we'll get more into that later. Did I scan this yet? Okay, yeah, I scanned the 5 rounds. I wasn't sure if I did or not. If it isn't clear, it's been a couple weeks since I recorded the last episode. Okay, so we got, oh! I thought you couldn't... Oh, so it's all the doors you can't scan. You can only scan the locked doors, the blast shields, and the doors at the Orphean Frigate. Interesting, okay. That's I didn't know that. I could have swore you could scan like the alternate beam doors, but I guess not. So yeah, whenever we see purple doors, we have to use the wave beam to open them. And now with the wave beam, we can destroy these Bombu enemies. With one single charge shot, it'll take them down. Be careful because the charge beam also charging the beam also pulls them in, so you gotta be aware of that. But you can use that to your advantage and get a clear shot on them as a result. Okay. So as we make our way to our next upgrade, and actually it's quite a ways away, we got a lot of exploring to go through in Phendrana Drifts before we get our next upgrade here, so there's going to be a lot of time for me to explain stuff as we go along, as well as this. Okay, so 2009 was basically the year of new play control, and basically what it was is Nintendo ported 7 GameCube games to the Wii with new pointer-based controls, and I can't exactly remember the exact reason they did this. I know there was a specific reason. I know that I think it was specifically meant to encourage people with GameCubes to buy a Wii, because Nintendo was intended to make it their all-in-one system by doing this. In addition to the fact that you could play GameCube games on the Wii, so because the Wii is essentially it's not much more than a GameCube, honestly. Like, you know, it's especially proven by the fact that the resolution is no higher than the GameCube, and the only difference is that it's in widescreen. But yeah, basically it was that's what I believe. I'm pretty sure that was the purpose. It was just meant to get more people to move from the GameCube to the Wii. Because I'm sure even in 2009 there were still a lot of people who owned GameCubes that didn't own the Wii quite yet. So, despite the fact that the GameCube would go on to do so much better than the GameCube, sadly. Well, not really sadly in the Wii's case, but because I think the Wii definitely was a fantastic system for what it's worth. But I do wish the GameCube was more successful still, because it has a lot of fantastic games on it. Okay, as the Great Poison reaches ever further into the planet, we Chozo begin to feel the gnawings of despair. Before it is too late, we now make our last stand. We have begun to build a temple to contain this darkness. As heart, we will place a cipher, a mystical lock powered by 12 artifacts and filled with as much power as we Chozo can harness. We wonder, though, even when we are done, will it be too late? And will the power of the temple and the cipher itself prove strong enough to hold back the poisonous tide that even now swells within the ground, threatening all life? Well, we already collected the first of those artifacts. I think by now they would have expected you to get the first artifact, but which is not the one that I got. It's actually back at the, well, I guess we haven't learned about that quite yet, so I'm not going to mention it, but yeah, there's something we technically should have discovered by now. Okay, so what we have right here is a hanging rock structure. Appears to have a weak spot near its base. Some stalactites can be dislodged from ceilings, allowing them to be used as platforms across otherwise unreachable areas. Like so. Simply fire a missile at the right spot, and you'll create a platform for yourself. So now we can progress further into the Phendrana Drifts area, actually. destroy these enemies here. Okay, so coming up here, we actually have enemies that only appear a few times here, and these are the Ice Shriekbats. Ice Shriekbats. Yeah, same as regular Shriekbats, except they're encased in ice. That's it. So they're no more dangerous or whatever than regular Shriekbats. But yeah, they're very rare enemies. They don't appear very often. They end up disappearing later on after this area. Ooh, what's down here? Well, something we can't quite get yet because we don't have a way to melt ice quite yet. You would think the regular beam would be hot enough to melt ice, but apparently not. Okay, so like I was saying, new play control. It started in December 2008, actually, with the release of Pikmin and Mario... No, it was a Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, yeah. Those two games were the first ones to come out on new play control in Japan in 2008, December. And over the next year, they would release more games and port them and bring them over to North America. The other games were Mario Power Tennis, let's see, there's Mario Power Tennis, Pikmin. Chibi Robo was actually one of the games, but it was the only game to be released exclusively in Japan. Yeah, this is the only new play control game that the rest of the world didn't get. And I'm pretty sure the reason why is because it didn't do well in its original release on the GameCube. It's one of the more rare GameCube games that you can't really find very easily, and they're really expensive. I still have yet to get a copy of the game, but I look forward to eventually getting one. And so I'm pretty sure that's what the case was, but what doesn't, of course, it doesn't explain the fact that Chibi Robo got, sequels later on anyways that got released internationally. So it's still been nice for us to get that, new play control version of Chibi Robo in the Americas, because I know there's still a bunch of dedicated Chibi Robo fans here that would have appreciated that. But nevertheless, every game besides Chibi Robo got released in North America throughout 2009, with one exception. I'll get into that soon. But most interestingly is that Metroid Prime 1 and 2 are two of those 7 new play control releases. They're listed separately because they released separately in Japan, like as they got their own separate releases a few months apart. But then, in August 2009, they combined the two games with Metroid Prime 3 in this collection, Metroid Prime Trilogy, and they released it everywhere except for Japan. Yeah, this is one of those rare cases where we got something that Japan didn't. Well, I mean, we did, we still got the same games, but we got the collection, all they got was the separate releases. The only thing Japan has to show for after all this is the Wii channel menus for Metroid Prime 1 and 2, so you can see those in Japan exclusive, but that's about it. That's the only advantage to being a Japan player in this instance. Although I'm pretty sure it has to do with the fact that Metroid Prime wasn't as popular in Japan. Metroid in general I don't think is as popular in Japan. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure on that, so I'm sure someone in the comments will explain, but that's pretty much what I got from it. Okay. So we have to do this puzzle twice because once for that energy tank and the other to get to the top of this room. But once you get to the top of this room, you won't have to do this puzzle ever again. This whole filling the room with water crap. Because, yeah, these puzzles are kind of annoying. At least I don't think you have to do this again, do you? Technically you don't, I think. Technically you don't. Though you will if you have to, at any point, go back through this, oh god. Yeah, those enemies can be kind of annoying, because like, they're hard to detect, but they still hit you if they reach you. Okay, now that we're at the top of this room, we have 3 ways to go, but actually we can only go 2 of them, and this way is a save station. And I still got 5 minutes left in this episode, so I'll save this save station for the end of the episode. That door's for later, we can't go through that quite yet, but the only way to go is this way. So, let's get to it. Oh god, what's that? That looks familiar. We haven't seen that since the very beginning of the game at the Orpheon. What's going on here? That's odd. Also, if you hit these with the wave beam, since they're non-organic enemies, they will actually short circuit after a couple charge shots. But then we get this. It's a space pirate. Oh, I need to scan that. Yeah, here we go. Shadow. Oh, actually, it's a shadow pirate. Pirate force is trained and equipped for stealth operations. Basically, they turn invisible, but you can still fire at them. So yeah, they can be kind of difficult to get, and they will get to you if you're not careful. But yeah, something's interesting here. We're suddenly getting space pirate, a space pirate, and some of their technology. Oh boy, wonder what's gonna happen here. I totally can't see this coming. I would use the Metal Gear sound effect, but I don't think it works in that case. Alright, folks, here we go. Space pirates. Okay, I gotta scan these guys now, too, because they're separate from when we encountered the hallway path before. So yeah, these are the main space pirates, just the regular old space pirates. They can go down in a few charge shots, but best thing you can do is... okay, so what I'd like to do with space pirates is hit him with the charge shot, with the wave beam, and then him with a missile. That will take them down immediately. Not only that, but with organic enemies, when you attack them with the charged wave beam, it stuns them temporarily. So that's another use for the wave beam, is to stun enemies temporarily. But right here we have the map for Phendrana, so let's take this. And of course, it would be in the space pirate area of the map. But once again, it doesn't reveal everything, so there's still more to this, more to Phendrana than we can see here. But essentially, this whole area right here, this is all space pirate territory, essentially. So, yep, that's where we're headed. In fact, actually, our next destination's right here. So this room looks pretty interesting. So let's get to it, shall we? Is there anything, any space pirate data in here? Probably not. What time is it? 17:20. Okay. Let's continue on, shall we? I don't know. Can we get to that room in time? I'm not sure if we can. No, probably not. I don't want to end the episode early, but I might have to. Well, we'll probably just end it in the next room, actually. Okay, is this... Oh. I don't know why this turret doesn't attack you on the lower floor. That gets annoying. They can kind of knock you back a bit. Not only that, but the turrets do significant amount of damage, significantly more damage than they did at the frigate. Jeez, frickin' frigate. I had to make that pun eventually. Okay, get some of our energy back and missiles. All right, there we go. Got some more bomb moves here. Did I scan these guys? Yeah, I don't remember if I did or not. Okay, all right. I'm better than I. Past self is better than I thought, I guess. Go. Okay, so we're going to run into some space pirate labs, and considering it's a lab, that means there's going to be a lot of space pirate data to access, but for now, first let's take care of the pirates themselves. Are there any shadow pirates? I don't think so. I'm not sure why they throw a shadow pirate at you at the very beginning back there. It's kind of weird, because you don't see them again until for quite a while. Seems like kind of an out-of-the-nowhere thing. Now, interestingly enough, after we defeat those few, the other space pirates in this room will not come down to the first floor until we... Yeah, like, they won't attack us until we approach them. It's kind of interesting, like, even though they're aware that we're here. But anyways, let's get our pirate data. And it's around this point where we should be getting 50% notification, I believe. Most terraforming and retrofitting of security checkpoints on Town 4 is complete, but we continue to research the alarming epidemic of breaches by local creatures. Door records show no unauthorized entries, so we must presume the creatures are either slipping in undetected during daily personnel moves, or else finding their way in through subterranean tunnels. We have found many small breaches of this latter sort and plugged them wherever we can, but it is unlikely that we will ever achieve full extermination with our current timeline. That's too bad. I mean, I guess it could help you with that whole destruction bit by destroying you guys. Okay. Anything else? Oh yeah, we got a lot here. Just as I thought. Mining operations have begun near the crater where Phazon appears to be most concentrated. Daily Phazon yields have increased 44%, and our mining system becomes more streamlined as personnel and equipment flows increase. Several incidents of Phazon-induced madness have been reported, prompting augmented life support regulations in the deeper chamber. Symptoms include loss of equilibrium, erratic respiration, muscle spasms, and in most extreme cases, hallucinations. A timeline reassessment for the refinery operation is recommended, as the material proves more unstable than initial analysis indicated. Whatever's Phazon stuff is, you probably should be messing with it. We've codified the newfound energy source Phazon. V-index mutagen of which we have very little reliable data. Indications point to a meteor of unknown origin expelling Phazon into the environment. This material appears to possess the power to mutate organic life forms sufficiently to withstand its poison. These mutations appear promising, with abrupt evolutionary leaps appearing in single-generation reproduction. Plans to establish a full science team on Town 4 are being finalized. Oh, okay, not yet. I was expecting the prompt at this moment, but maybe after this one? Pretty sure you get it somewhere around now. Our initial test exposing Town 4's indigenous parasites to Phazon appears to be successful. Increases in strength, size, and aggressiveness are common in all test subjects, as well as unforeseen evolutions like additional poison sacs within the abdomen and appearance of a second ring of mandibles in several subjects. These creatures were chosen because of their resilience, and it appears possible that given enough exposure to Phazon, they may one day be able to survive on any planet we transport them to. Our methods will have to be refined. We currently have a 100% extinction rate after the 4th infusion period, and most survivors of the 3rd infusion state are so violent and uncontrollable that they have to be euthanized. Even still, we remain hopeful that further experimentation will result in success. Okay, so whatever this Phazon stuff is, the pirates are experimenting with it, and we cannot allow that, because this stuff is pretty serious business. And with all that said, next time on Metroid Prime, folks, we're going to hopefully discover this, whatever this Phazon is. And more importantly, get ourselves more into the Space Pirate stronghold and get their stuff. Yeah. Bye.